to the Berg Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. With me today is Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And so we've actually had a little bit of a break in the weather. And I know it's like really premature, but with Valentine's Day coming up, it's starting to feel a little bit like spring. You guys agree?
Yeah. Well, spring for Pennsylvania. Right? Like I don't know if that's come up on your feed.
Yeah, okay.
But I've seen all the things of like
Yeah.
it's 70 degrees in Florida and the people have winter coats on, and it's 30 here and there's guys in shorts.
Guys in shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, but I do feel that it's, it got above. The other day I was like, man, it is warm. It was 33. And I was like, it's balmy out here.
It's so funny because 33 without the wind felt warm. It felt like
warm.
It
was sunny. It was sunny and
no
33.
wind and 33 degrees. And if like I was like, dang, I don't even need a jacket. This is nice.
Yeah.
I think it's also because the days are a little longer too. Not by much yet. We're not getting far, but a little extra light goes a long way in making it more positive towards warmer weather.
I saw something actually exactly in those regards, and it was like, in 45 days from now, the sun will set at 7:30, or something like that.
Which is amazing, right? Like
Which is incredible because it feels like the darkness is always here. Like when
we talk about that in the winter when you got to wake up and when you go to and come from work in the dark. Like, that's no fun.
Drive to work in the dark. Drive home from work in the dark.
Yeah,
and
there's actually a thing for that. It's like some kind of dissociation. There's actually like a clinical diagnosis for that, which is interesting. But there's someone said it one day, and I was like, "Is that for real?" They're like, "Oh no, there's actually a diagnosis for them." I'm like, wow, I just thought it was
it's
the
like
winter juries.
Well, they call it like seasonal depression, but there is something like seasonal disorder, seasonal like there's it's a disorder of some type, right?
Does it have a medicine that has a commercial that has like a 35 minute list of all the side effects? You'll be better.
It probably does. Yeah, it'll cure this one thing.
It'll cure this one thing, but
it may not be good for the rest of the things.
Yeah, the rest of the things.
But
they're crazy. And we've talked about that before. But it always amazes me. The girls are old enough now that they start to pick up on some of it, and they'll be like, did that just say that suicide is a increased rate of suicide? Like all it was curing was like a headache.
All right.
Like you know what?
I think I'll deal with the headache.
I think I'll just deal with the headache. That's probably better.
When we had those Revive meetings, and she was like fishing for prescriptions. Yeah, and Ethan pulled that one out with the Skyrizi.
Yeah.
I see the ads for it. I have no idea what it does, what it's for. And she looked it up, and like the budget price was like $11,000 a month or something.
Yes.
I was like,
I don't know what it does, but I do know
that's many TV ads up.
Yeah, I was
like,
whoa.
Well, somebody's got to pay for all those TV ads.
For all that Super Bowl marketing.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. So the Super Bowl, that just passed also. Right now we're by the Super Bowl. I don't know how you felt about it. I don't know if it's because it was juxtaposed to the Olympics, which is a lot more pomp and circumstance, but man, that was a boring Super Bowl.
Super boring. I would agree. I just it was not entertaining at all. And it was like field goal fest for a little while. They were just back and forth, kick a field goal, back and forth, kick a field goal. I heard something funny, and I kind of stopped paying attention, honestly. But I heard something funny, like Drake May set like a Super Bowl record for passing yards in the fourth quarter. Which is bonkers, right? Because they lost by 3 scores, 4 scores, whatever it was. I don't even know.
Well, if you throw the ball to the other team, that happens.
That's fair. But I don't think those would count towards his yards accomplished.
He would be. He would definitely have it then.
He'd be in really good
because he was completing some long balls to the other team.
To the other team, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm not going to get political, but like the halftime show, I was watching with the girls, and maybe I'm old now. I was a little uncomfortable. I felt like it was. Back in the day, I don't know that you would have been allowed to act that way. The way that everyone was. The girls kept. I don't know what I can say here now. But backing myself into it. They were calling out the way the women were dancing.
Oh, okay.
And then that he was standing next to them, and how he was standing. And I was just getting uncomfortable. I was like, okay, this is
his stature next to the dancing women.
Yes, the positioning, and they were calling it out, and I was like, this is
Yeah.
Couldn't we just have like Bon Jovi sing a song and some fireworks go off? Yeah. I don't have to talk about anything.
Yeah. I don't really know. There was a lot of talk about the halftime show, right? And I don't really know anything about
Bad Bunny.
Thank you, Bad Bunny. I don't know anything about him.
Who's the guy?
Mara says that like middle school, or Charlotte, one of them told me that like middle school boys love him.
Middle school boys love him.
That's what they told me. They were like, that's what he's popular.
His demographic right there. Yeah.
It doesn't seem so, but I don't know. I don't know. I can make no comments. I'm not bilingual. I don't know what he was saying. There was many issues for me personally with trying to understand it.
I don't think I had ever previously listened to a Bad Bunny song that I can recall.
And you're a music guy.
Yeah, and I didn't do any research. Like I knew people.
Did you hear that, Ford?
I knew people were upset about it, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know enough to take a position on this.
You're not going to involve yourself.
I understand why some people are saying they're upset and why some people are saying they're indifferent. But I will acknowledge that the whole thing being in Spanish, with which I don't know, in a weird way, it may not have bothered me if the subtitles were in English, but the subtitles were in Spanish.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it. So I wasn't watching, but I did not even. Yeah. So they had subtitles in Spanish to a guy singing in Spanish.
Yeah, and then it would say stuff like singing in Spanish, like, and that would be the English component of the subtitles. And I was like, oh, that's not helpful. Like I don't speak Spanish. I'm not saying people.
Yeah, I don't want to take this.
I'm not taking a position on whether or not people can speak Spanish. I have no stake in that game, but. I just know that whatever it was he was trying to convey, I could not understand.
Yeah, and I don't think it was aimed at us necessarily.
I don't think I was the target for sure, but just as a usually an informed consumer, which in this case I definitely was not. It just was odd to me.
Yeah. You know what I just thought about as you were saying that was, we've talked about that some of the people sued websites that they could never work at because they couldn't read them because they were they weren't accessible to people who were blind.
Some of the ADA stuff it was that's required with websites.
With websites, and I was thinking, I almost feel like that. How funny would it be if lawyers figured out a way to do that? That like they were unable to understand what was going on. It was confusing because you had both the.
I couldn't participate.
Yes. Because there would have been like a Spanish language. Like, you know what I mean? In other words, like sometimes they'll have like, I wouldn't do it because I don't speak Spanish, but you could like watch something and have what is it, SAP or something? It's like Spanish alternate something. And they,
like the Phillies have that broadcast.
Yes. It's like, exactly. I'm not an expert on this, but they did not do the reverse. There was no way. I did hear that there was alternate halftime shows. Did you hear that?
I heard.
That's part of the whole politic thing. Yeah,
is that what it is? I heard it and I was like, wait a minute. There was you can have the Mannings, you know what I mean, like doing the Manning cast, but this was apparently like another halftime show, but it was not at the halftime.
That's an issue. That's.
Should we steer clear of that one, Ford? I know nothing about this.
I think that one's that's not related to us at all. But I was going to say, like, I didn't understand. I mean, the NFL does a lot of interesting things. This one was probably one of the most interesting. Just that, like. Their main fan base, if they're really figure that they're that confident in their fan base that they can try and attract new fans and not worry about their existing fans that were concerned or upset. Yeah. But also like they could have been targeting
middle school boys though, Ford. That's
could have been.
Yeah.
That's right. Middle school boys like
they're having all these games out of the country. They're putting them in like Germany and Spain. They're like doing all this stuff with like Brazil, games. Brazil. So they're like they're trying to they got a bigger play that they're doing, but it's just interesting that they're basically like, our existing fans are going to show up. We don't care if they're upset or not.
Well, there's dollars at play. That's for sure, right? The NFL is a business first, not
one of the biggest.
Yeah, not, it's an entertainment business. It is not about football. It is about entertainment. And so
I thought it was about food. Didn't you see all those commercials?
I did see some of those. Yeah, I did see some of those.
Baker Mayfield, he sounds like something about a bakery, farm to table bakery.
Every day it gets closer to the WWE as far as I'm concerned. They couldn't do anything about this. The only reason I can say it's not fixed is because how crappy the game was. It was so terrible. It's like they wouldn't strip something this bad.
It could not have been scripted that way, right? That was not entertaining enough to have been scripted. Yeah.
Well, remember how many years ago was it when who was winning? Was it
Atlanta? Are you going Atlanta?
Atlanta was winning and like killing the game, and magically came out at halftime and like just
died. And Tom Brady came.
Yeah.
Tom Brady rose.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That one felt a little a little too goofy.
Shoeless Joe Jackson action going on there.
Yeah, something was a little odd. I don't know who won big on the betting side of it, but yeah, it was definitely not. Yeah. That's one of those days you set up. It's not a holiday or anything, but it's one of those days every year that that's coming up. It's a pretty big deal. Everybody gets together and
like Valentine's Day.
Food was better.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of those big deals.
Yeah. Are you all prepared there, Ford?
I am prepared as I'm going to be.
Oh, I don't know what that means because I myself do not have a card yet. I do have a plan.
Okay.
So, and Erin won't be home till later because she's out at a tournament. So. I have a plan that will. I just have to make sure I get to the play. Nothing else has worked for me today, so hopefully I get to that. Otherwise,
otherwise you could be in trouble.
I might be sleeping in Ford's house.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually talking to Jack Shearer about this earlier. Jack and Dylan downstairs, and so my wife's love language is not gifts, right? Receiving gifts is not her love language, and that's really good and bad because I love giving gifts, and she is not super excited to get gifts. So it works out well for certain things, like Valentine's Day. She's not like waiting for me to show up with a gift, but I do certain things for my daughter because I want her to see how men in her life are supposed to treat her. But the ironic part is I don't do it for my wife. And I was trying to explain this. I was trying to be like, well, I want her to know my daughter's, one of her love languages is currently gifts.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, she's a teenage girl. It doesn't mean all teenage girls.
I think all teenage people
love language of receiving gifts, but it is certainly in my daughter's love language. And, so, but I do
for all the boys in out there in New Holland.
Yeah. So
that's a question. Do you get all your girls' stuff?
I do not. Just for me. So I don't know. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is like
I was corrected on that last year or the year before.
Valentine's Day is like I don't care. It's like a to some degree made up holiday. Like it is what it is. It's not that you have to. Express yourself and show your appreciation and your love for people, and that's fine and it's great. And to make it one day, but it's a lot. And Erin doesn't want the girls to eat candy. The girls, they would love to eat candy, but they, it's just I'll get like flowers for them as a group, and Erin's love language is like me helping. I don't know what that love like service or
acts of service.
There you go. See, I got way to go, Brian. And so that is my plan. I'm gonna make dinner something she likes, not necessarily what I like, and the girls will see that. So I agree. You gotta show them how it is appropriate.
Yeah,
and I try and do that with Erin, but it is hard because Erin is also like that. It's not. She doesn't want me to buy her gifts. She is certain I will buy the wrong thing.
Well, and it can be any of them, right? It can be acts of service, it can be words of affirmation, and all of those things. But it was kind of comical though. I'm like. Yeah, I want my daughter to know how gentlemen
how I feel about her,
how gentlemen are supposed to act, and I was like, but I don't actually buy my wife any gifts. I actually
did get Erin something, truthfully, and I got it a while ago. You know what? I got her one of the things where you can get. I don't know if we talked about this, but
I don't know.
Where you do sort of. We're fortunate that Ford, you and I all do the Dr. Donaldson thing where we get a fair amount of blood work and they give us some results. So I got a similar thing for Erin.
Yeah, cool.
That I paid for the year, so that because it was I felt like her health was about the most important thing that I could say. Like, hey, you don't have the ability to do what I do. What Ford provides for you and I and Ford.
Right, yeah.
But I think it's valuable in what I've seen. So I paid for a similar thing. And so then, she'll get that done. But the girls were like, that is not a gift. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm trying to help mom to take care of herself in a way that she would not do herself. She wouldn't spend the money to do it. And they said, does mom know about this? And I said, no, it was a surprise. And I was like, but she did find out because I sent it to her. Like I sent it to her family email and I pulled it back, but somehow that's the one thing she saw in the email. And so they were like, well, now it's definitely not a gift. She already knows. I was like, all right, this is.
It might be an act of service.
That's how I took it. It was
right. Because, I think something that you give someone that they wouldn't have necessarily done for themselves is a gift. Whether or not it's like, you didn't have to go buy her some tangible thing. Like,
right.
You know, I guess her health is tangible.
Her health is tangible. Yeah.
You
know, and Aaron,
here's a question for you guys, because sometimes this happens. Sometimes have you ever gotten a gift that's like a little too large, and so you're like, oh, this will be for like the next, three events or whatever it is, right?
And it's like stretch it over multiple occasions.
It's just like kind of ridiculous. You're like, okay, this is more than a Christmas present, so we're gonna say. And then it's like, but it never feels right. No one ever remembers, and you end up just, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna cover them for a while. It's like, yeah. I tried it with my parents a couple times, different things. She's like, okay, they're like, well, you shouldn't have done that. I'm like, oh, they'll cover for a while. I'm good for a little bit, and just. That's only good for that day.
No, and Erin's birthday is right after Valentine's Day. Her birthday's like 2 weeks after Valentine's Day. Not even 2 weeks, 10 days.
So you have that too.
So back to back with the two of them, and that's what Ford. We had a funny conversation. And Ford, like this is a common theme with Erin and I, and like, Erin takes care of everything. She makes dinner. Everything at home is Erin. She, if we look good, Erin managed it. And so we were talking about something, and I had said I was going to cook dinner, and I cooked dinner, and I was like, listen, she said I didn't have a plan. And I was like, I had a plan, but it was based on knowing what was going to happen. So I needed to know the results of a game. And if the game won, then we would have a game. And, so I was waiting to figure out which way I would go. And I said, well, I do plan. I already know that what I'm going to make you for your birthday for dinner. And she was like, are you trying to take credit for the one meal that you're going to cook for my birthday this year? And I was like,
take credit for knowing. Take credit for knowing.
I was just taking credit for planning, and I couldn't afford. I had to just. I just fell on the grenade. Abort. I couldn't even back out of it. There was no. I was like, I'm just.
Yeah.
I guess that was what I was trying to do. I don't know. I'll try better for Mother's Day. Sorry.
Yeah.
Give me a few months to recover. I don't know. I feel like Brian does do a good job of like thinking ahead with this stuff. I do feel like that. You've had your ones that went a little sideways.
I've had my moments for sure. Where I thought I was doing sentimental things, and it was not.
It was not sentimental as it turned out.
Or not, at least not received that way.
Yeah. That message was not received.
Exactly. But no, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just, we're just not really those people, Allison and I. So like, I don't necessarily have to like, I don't feel like I have to like perform when it comes to like gifts and holidays and stuff like that. So,
no, I feel the same way. And on the present thing, like the thing we struggle with is I tend to I want to buy Erin something that she would, I want to do something that she would not do for herself. Like that is always the centerpiece of what my thinking is. Like she wouldn't do this, but it would benefit her / usually us. Because if it benefits Erin to some degree, it benefits everybody else, in one way or another. Even if it's just that she's happier, right? And so I like try to go with that angle, but then we say we're not going to do anything. And I like feel like, well, I have to do something. And then inevitably, like my something is more than Erin's something. And then she's upset
because
I did something. And I was like, right. But like, I bought this thing that, it's a gift for you, but you know what I mean? And I've said, well, if I had wanted it, I'd have bought it for me.
Yeah. I think it's, I don't think Allie has that problem necessarily because I like, if there's something that I wanted, I probably would have already bought it,
right,
or done it.
Yeah,
one of the gifts that she's given me is we like to go to Phillies games. So, but for me, like it's something I would have done probably, but I love that we go together because it's like built-in date night a couple times a month. So
it's nice.
Yeah, but.
I had said that, and Ford. We'll see what Ford gets into with the girls.
Yeah.
Like what sports or dancing or I don't know what else Ford is in your future. But that does. It is
funny. It's simple and not on a team.
It's not going to matter for them. You can be not on the team and you got dance 27 times a week. You can. It's I see trouble. But that's just not because of you or Tamara, because of what we've done. Like we've monetized every one of these things, and so you maximize how much you do it, and they figure out a way to play on the competitive nature of it that it'll gain you something. But I was saying to Erin the other day, I was like, it is difficult at this point in our lives to really try and find any time, you know what I mean, to say like we're going to set aside this. We were having a conversation for it about So my cousin Livia is getting married. Mia and Liv are both getting married. And Liv's getting married in April. So we're going to drive to Charlotte. She's getting married in Charlotte. So then we find out, Mara points out that Charlotte's school trip is, she comes back the day we leave. And I was like, nah, that can't be right. And it's right. And so I'm like, well, she probably comes back in the morning, 3:00 in the afternoon. So I'm like, all right. So I call the school and I say, hey, I'm going to pick her up in Maryland where her field trip is. And I'll get her on the way to Charlotte. I'll tell you when I'm going to pick her up. And they said, okay, that's fine. Then Erin looks at the calendar. She's like, actually, they just set up a game for Mara on Sunday, midday. And she was like, but if we leave at like 7 a.m., we could be back and make the game. And I was like, what has happened here? Like, we knew about this 6 months in advance. And now we're looking at it and trying to figure out how to shoehorn it in. And then they moved the game to Saturday, the day of the wedding. And Mara's like, well, I can't miss this game. Like, I'll stay home or I'll, whatever. And Erin's like, well, maybe you drive. And then I'll just fly one way with Mara and get there for the wedding. And I was like, are we like listening to our, and people out there, like some of the guys on the team are going to be like, that is crazy. Yeah. But in like the world that I operate with their level of sports, like that is not, they're like, oh yeah, well, yeah, that's what you'd have to do or miss it. And I'd be like, this is crazy. I said to Erin, I was like, if I had told 24-year-old you this, you were going to do this, you'd say I would never make that decision. It's just crazy what happens that you don't make time. So the Phillies thing is amazing. I'm jealous when I hear about it all the time. You're like, I'm going with Allie to the Phillies game, like just to go anywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
But you're like plus 10 on me at least. Plus, probably plus 10.
Right.
Plus 8 or 10. Yeah. So on my youngest. So
a little further down the road.
Yeah, you're further down the road there. You're in a different part now.
Yeah.
So pretty soon you're not going to be able to go because you're going to be home babysitting. You're going to be watching grandbabies, and then other people get to go out and have fun.
Yeah, or going to wherever grandbabies end up. Right. Yeah. That'll be the thing for me is like if grandbabies have started happening, which is awesome. But once they decide where they're settling down, it'll be.
It's not going to be New Holland, you don't think?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Oddly, but I think it'll be.
How much of your vacation time will be used up traveling, not for vacation, but for family?
Right.
Well, we got to check with Tracy on that.
Yeah, I know.
Tracy takes lots of vacations. Yeah. They involve babysitting and racing.
Yeah, doing stuff with
the kids were smart. They merged the two of them together. Now she just babysits at races.
Yeah, and she goes to the races and babysits. Yeah.
So, and the other thing of this time of year is bidding, right? We are, inundated right now with people sending us bids in various, sectors that we work in and trying to filter through, like we talk about bidding what we want, where we want, with people we want, or work we know with people we know in a place we want to work. And, it gets to be a lot and trying to juggle that responsibility and still do the other things we have to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot for the team to juggle. I know Scott's got a lot on his plate. Dylan and I have a lot on our plate with what we're bidding. So, but this is the time of year where in another 30, 45 days, all of a sudden we'll talk about all this, the work that we won to rebuild all the backlog to carry us to next December. So we're working through that.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about that earlier, and I was listening to something. We've gone through some transition. You're taking on some roles and sharing some responsibilities that you haven't done in a little while, just to kind of like piece together some things that we have going on. And this message I was listening to was talking about like, developing an affliction for something that is important, in the sense that you do it regardless of the way it makes you feel until it makes you feel good, because it's something that's important. Yeah. And I feel like in some ways that's kind of like where you might be with bidding right now. Yeah. Just like you have a little bit of you're developing an affliction for it. And but like the pain is it's necessary. The resilience. The pain is the resilience.
Yeah,
right.
It is, and it's the work. You know what I mean? Like for bidding certain types of work is more difficult for me than others.
Sure.
Because as we grew, I really focused on certain types of work, not just landfill, but certain styles, certain what we were going to do. And when you get into certain very more detailed jobs, it while it suits our team, it doesn't really suit me and how my available time nor my experience, nor my desire to let my ADD run rampant. So that's sort of the rub for me right now. Is if I could just sit in a room and estimate it, I would do it, but it would be a struggle because it has to be very specific. You know, they're not. It's a more complex bid sometimes, but like you said, it has to be done. There's no other. This is the way. You know what I mean? The way is to do this, and Dylan's doing a great job. I mean, I was talking to the team yesterday, and I said he's just. Dylan has always been like a problem solver. Dylan always wants to like satisfy people, right? He wants to like if you want to speak Dylan's like love language. Dylan wants to make people happy by doing what they need done, right? Like putting them in a better spot, which is great, but it is also it can be detrimental to yourself at times because you never stop and just say like, what does Dylan need to get done, you know? But he put a couple bids together, and I was talking to Scott. I said like they're clean. There's like you can see his education behind him, and the experience that he's gotten over the past few years that he can put it together and it's clean. So that's good.
That is good.
But we're working through it, so we'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this feels like a normal pre-spring. You know, like as we kind of make this transition, a little bit of warm weather. We know the days are getting a little longer. The bidding workload is super heavy, and we're all kind of like get us through it.
Yeah. It's you worry. We've talked about it before that the life cycle of an estimator is that you worry you don't have enough to bid, and then you bid a lot, and then you go through that cycle where you're then trying to deal with how do I manage all these to figure out what we actually take to fruition, what do we take from a budget number to a real number, and what jobs do we want to bid, and then you win the work. And then you're like, take a deep breath. And then like 30 seconds later, you're like, I better start bidding because you need to bid again, So it's all
got to follow each other.
Yeah. So it's like, sprint, walk, sprint, walk, sprint, walk as you try and just, it is hard to balance it.
Yeah.
So,
I believe it.
But that's, that's where we are right now. It's the time of year, like you always say about Christmas. Next February, we can have the same exact
same conversation. Valentine's Day will be here.
Repeat.
Yeah, we can just reuse this one.
Yeah, Valentine's Day will be here. The weather will hopefully be turning warmer again, and we'll be deep into the bidding.
Yeah.
That's probably a good place to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us today, folks. We hope you got something from this, and we hope you come back for another episode.